Who is the 49ers' best route runner?
Brandon Ayuk.
He is, right?
Yeah, it's by far.
By far, right?
By far. He's better than Kittle. He's better than you asked me this question last year, I would have said Jordan Reed, actually, not George Kittle.
Yeah, good point. Yeah. Man, him in one-on-ones was special. Yeah. Ask Tart about Jordan Reed's in one-on-one. He'll say on the record, yeah. Guy's amazing. And he would do it without gloves on, too. He was like, played mind games with you.
He's unbelievable. Yeah. But it's Brandon Ayuk. I think George Kittle can still, be, and Deebo Samuel a little bit, because they're a little more roughed up athletes where they can be a little bit linear in the way they run routes and not as smooth. Ayuk is just so graceful. He gets in and out of his breaks so smooth. He shifts gears, shifts speeds, decelerates, accelerates so easily. And, my man, Jason Aponte hit me up with the receiver.
That's what I wanted to bring it up.
Perception, and he gave me his login, and I've just been looking through it because we're going to do a topic about receivers. And Brandon Ayuk's route frequency is interesting because there's a lot of routes that he doesn't run a lot of, like he didn't run a lot of 9 routes. He didn't run a lot of posts. He didn't run a lot of curls, but those are aggressive outside routes where you can talk about the Niners don't have an aggressive outside throwing quarterback.
Right.
And the Niners offense also is based on play action. So you want to attack behind the linebackers inside. So you want to run a lot of digs, a lot of drift routes, a lot of curls, or not curls, a lot of slants, stuff like that.
Right.
And so, but if you look at Brandon Ayuk's actual production, even in the routes he didn't run a lot of, he was a very effective separator in the 9 route. And we've seen it, right? How many times did we turn on that film on a Tuesday or a Wednesday and go, geez, Brandon Ayuk just roasted this guy, and Jimmy Garoppolo is throwing a 5-yard sit route, or he's throwing a 5-yard stop route. And there were a number of times you saw it even with the Nick Mullins and stuff. So CJ Beathard, when he played and with Brandon Ayuk, you could see it. So Brandon Ayuk, to me, is by far the best route runner on this team.
Yeah, it was. I saw that reception perception graph too, and it's like every single route except for maybe the flat out route was above average in terms of his separation. And I don't even know. I'm sure he's good at running the flat route too. I mean, I can't imagine that that's the one route he doesn't run well. So
4.5% of the time. So the sample size isn't even large enough to have a statistic.
The only other receiver, I guess, from that, well, there were a lot of good receivers from that draft class last year, but the only other one that had a graph kind of like that was Justin Jefferson. It seems like Ayuk could be on the Jefferson. I mean, even CeeDee Lamb didn't have that kind of thing, but CeeDee Lamb he's also very good in other ways after the catch.
CeeDee also had to play a little bit in the slot too, and he was an outside receiver at Oklahoma, so you don't know how that adjustment affected his game. And then also, like, there is the aspect of, like a route can be more effective depending on where your split is, what personnel your offense uses to set up the route, the other routes in the concept to set it up. And we know Kyle Shanahan is really, really good at getting the primary receiver open. So that definitely would have aided Brandon Ayuk, but he's spectacular. He's so special.